it's over. Do you need anything like I need you? I've got no place to be alone, my friend. He cut his wrist instead. There's your answer. You better save yourself, or else nothing like success. I would rather be in hell than regret. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? No, I do. Denial. These are not my words. Tell me, where are mine? Most of the time, wet my face with reality and permit me to breathe before I do it again. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Yo! Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, do you need anything like I need you? Do you need? Oh shit! Dude, 2 games for the price of 1, boss. What are we doing? Dude, 2 games. They're getting a doubleheader in 1, bro. I'm telling you. Dodgers are winning this inning, boss. Here it comes. Dude, they've walked Shohei like a dozen fucking times. Dude, Dodgers gotta win. We must avenge the Mariners. You fucking pieces of shit. Dude, I love Toronto. I just don't like the Blue Jays. I'd probably like them on any other day, man.
Yeah, good thing there's a ghost runner during the regular season though, right? Oh shit! Can you imagine if there were 5-hour games every fucking day? Day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye them if you dare. Dude, I'm afraid to let them. Is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. After you, I'm afraid of feeling some too soon. Cling to what you're giving. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away.
There's a sound. Jen is now
Is what I think. I will drown in.
Let's go! Yeah. Let's go! Oh shit! Alright. Paint away. Day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye. If you dare, someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah. Nothing is what I say. Let's go. Far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pink. Oh. Let's go. All right. Dude, we're going to have a little bit of the fucking little Dodger distraction going on, boss. Good evening. Crazy, bro. Fucking, like, dude, unreal how it's like 1,000 innings. Right? Oh, shit. Sorry that I was late. It was, you know, I'm late because of partially late because of the game, partially late because of like some family discussions, but nonetheless, we're here. All right. We're here. We're going to be politicking. What a fucking day, bro. Dude, we're going to have to talk about, like, first off, man, can I just say that like what is going on in New York City is really fucking gross, guys. You know what I'm saying? Have you guys been seeing, like, I get it if you want to like not like Zoran Mamdani, whatever, he's a Democrat, but like the Islamophobia that is happening, like bro, it is like so disgusting. You know what I mean? Where it is literally the entire campaign is basically where if you look at Cuomo's campaign, You think that the only people Cuomo would even serve would be like Jewish Zionists and white people, rich white people. That's it, right? Everybody else to Cuomo is like, fuck you. He's like, it's like Zionism and white billionaires and everybody else in New York, which is like, 90% not that. Everyone else in New York is like, they're like, fuck you, right? It's like so gross. Yeah, the Sharia law stuff, when it's like, dude, there's not going to be any Sharia. You know what I'm saying? There's no fucking Sharia, but the very people crying about Sharia want to, Christian Taliban. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it is so gross though. Like, I saw this, man. You know what I'm saying? This really threw me over the edge, dude. Was this tweet from James Woods? Okay? Right? This fucking tweet. Dude, where he's like, screw your aunt and screw you too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, really? Like really? Like James Woods actually tweeted that, where he is like manipulating a horrible moment as though like Zoran Mamdani was like flying the plane. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not even just James Woods. This seems to be the prevalent sort of attitude, right? It seems to be the prevalent attitude for the people that are engaged in this battle, I mean, dude, it's so gross, man. It is so gross, right? Like, if you're a Muslim, you're automatically, a terrorist, according to these fucking people, and the thing that I don't like about this, guys, is this is Cuomo doing this shit. This guy's a Democrat, right? You know what I'm saying? This guy is a fucking Democrat, bro. Like, Democrats are going to need to disavow this man. I mean, we know he's a piece of shit, okay? He's a sexual abuser. Yeah, Adams too, dude. But like, bro, we need to disavow this guy. This behavior is beneath our fucking party, man. Yeah, you're right. He's not a Democrat at all, right? He is like, dude, so toxic. He is like MAGA now, dude. Fuck this guy, bro. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Like, Andrew Cuomo needs to be booted from the party, right? He does. He needs to be like shown the door, okay? Because his campaign is so toxic. And the other thing I don't like about this, guys, is how it's just more of this rape culture, right? Like, think about this, guys, okay? There was a primary, okay? Andrew Cuomo went out on a date with the Democratic voters, his party, and the voters said, no, sorry, Andrew Cuomo. Like, that's a big no, and please stop. And he's not stopping. Okay, not only is he not stopping, but he didn't hear the no. He comes back despite the no. He starts engaging all your enemies, and then he starts using every degenerate piece of shit tactic possible to defy the no that was issued to him. It's rape, dude. He's literally raping the New York City voters. And there's a bunch of New York City voters that seem to want to help him do it. Right? It's so gross, dude. So gross. Like, man, dude. Unfucking believable, boss. Unfucking believable, dude. Just not okay. You know what I'm saying? Just not okay. And the griminess of it, though. That's the thing that like hits me. Dude, the griminess. I haven't even watched the video. It's like, isn't it like a Mamdani plane or something that flies into a building? Isn't that what's in it? I haven't watched it because I was like, dude, I just didn't want to get triggered, right? But is that what it is? Is that what the video is? Dude, is it safe? I'm not going to get banned if other people watched it on YouTube, right? Should we watch it? I mean, if other people have watched it on YouTube or you've seen it on YouTube on other people's shows, then we'll watch it. But if it's really bad, I don't want to see it. No planes involved. It's safe. Okay. All right. I'm just tired, dude. All right. So I guess it's on his page. Yeah, I mean, I should probably tweet that too, dude. Dude, there we go. Let's go. Dude, fuck that guy, bro. Dude, yeah. But, all right, so does someone have a link to the video? I'm not seeing it here. He doesn't have it pinned. Dude, find me a link to the video. All right? Or I bet if I just search it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there we go. There it is. All right, here we go. So they deleted it. All right. They fucking quickly deleted this shit. So it says that just posted and quickly deleted an AI generated ad depicting criminals for Zohran Mamdani. Bro, so gross, dude. You know what I'm saying? A black man in a 𝗙ecie. How do you pronounce it? 𝗙ecie? I fucking, dude, I always fuck this up.
𝗙cie.
𝗙cie. Okay, thank you. 𝗙cie. In a 𝗙cie. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Zohran Mamdani's opponents want you to believe he's an inexperienced radical whose policies will make New York City more dangerous. But what do his actual supporters think?
Mamdani isn't crazy.
He's just trying to even the playing field.
You know, give everyone a fair shot. Sure, he said multiple times we need to defund the police, but that was just a metaphor.
And yes, he did say crime is a social construct, but that was also a metaphor.
His main backer, the Democratic Socialists' ideas are common sense, such as
Decriminalizing misdemeanors, like shoplifting.
third-degree assault,
Trespassing. Prostitution.
And drunk driving.
Dude.
With plans to decriminalize all drugs, Mamdani will be a job creator.
See, you know what's crazy? Bro, is like, first off, I just have to pause it right there. Because first off, not only is it fucking, you know, using the lowest common denominator trope for every one of those people, did you guys notice the little bit of like inclusion of like Democratic figures? I don't know if you noticed it, but there's like some subliminal work they've done, guys, where like, look at this. If you look at it, right? Like this woman is sort of like a Hillary Clinton look, right? They have her sort of like looking like Hillary Clinton. Then they give this guy the Gavin Newsom hair, right? You know what I'm saying? And you know, there's like just a little bit of sort of some touches that have made to sort of resemble fucking, you know, resemble like people's. When I first saw this, it looked like Graham Plattner. Doesn't this look like Graham Plattner? It totally looks like Graham Plattner, right? Where they're using fucking, you know, it's like interesting little nuances like that I feel like I don't know that it was something done accidental. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that was accidental. Let me just tell you guys, as a person who has made a lot of fucking, you know, videos. I mean, I'm a fucking director, dude. You look back there, right? You look back there on my wall. Hold on. Sorry, I had the wrong light on. But I have awards up there for directing. And let me just tell you, when you make a video like this, every nuance is intentional. Every nuance is created and put in there to spread a specific message, okay? And the fact that they have these little nuances of like throwing things in there, subliminal shit. I mean, we do it all the time. I still do it in my YouTube videos sometimes, where I'll have my subscribe button pop up over a certain phrase that's a little bit subliminal, right? I mean, dude, it's just things you do as an editor, as a filmmaker. You use subliminal shit all the time, right? They'll end on a word and then cut to a look in order to sell a fucking, you know, in order to sell a feeling or create a you know, a vibe. But like, dude, this shit though, with like the stereotypical pimp, right? The stereotypical pimp, you know, like, my God, what a fucking trope, dude. This is like such a black person trope. It's so racist. You know what I'm saying? And so, right, the most racist pimp trope they could possibly find. Okay? You know? Dude, this shit is just creepy, bro.
And drunk driving.
With plans to decriminalize all drugs, Mamdani will be a job creator for drug dealers.
Instead of helping us homeless get off the streets and into the mental health facilities we need, he wants to give us safe injection sites to do crack and let us sleep in subway carts.
These are actual policies Mamdani and the DSA want to implement on day one.
When a woman's being domestically abused, she finally won't have to deal with some pesky cop to arrest the abuser, but now a social worker to help, you know, kumbaya the situation.
Dude, that's so not true, dude. That's so not true. Like, that's a lie. Nobody that wants to incorporate social workers into fucking, right? That wants to incorporate social workers into policing, they would never send that person while there was an active domestic abuse. Maybe if the abuser wasn't there, they would send a social worker, right? And they might send a social worker anyway to take care of the woman, so the cops aren't fucking probing her and acting like she deserved it or questioning whether she's being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Mamdani is finally lowering jail sentences.
Guilty!
But Mamdani says you're free to go.
Who cares if legalizing prostitution statistically leads to an increase for sex trafficking of women and young girls by 70%?
You can't have safe.
Dude. Oh, is it over? It's over. Let's go, dude. Home run, baby. Oh, let's fucking go, dude. Freddie Freeman in the 18th. Oh, let's go. Fuck you, Mariners beaters. Dude, hold on. We got one for Gord. Dude, let's go. All right, we got one for Cameron. Replace the White House with a very small monument of Trump in the shape of a wrinkled up dong. All right, let's go. We're in it. Dude, let's go. Dude, Gorg said I was subliminally influenced to donate this money. All right, I was a little distracted. I had the game over here on YouTube TV on my other monitor. Now I'm going to be able to give you my full attention, guys. Dude, right? Hold on. I want to watch the replay. Let me just watch the replay here for a sec. Give me 1 second here to enjoy the replay. Yeah, the Dodgers just won, dude. Freddie Freeman homer. I want to see the replay. It's game 3, and it went 18 innings, guys. 18 fucking innings, bro. Dude. Oh, shit. Bro. Crazy. Well, right now they're talking to Freddie Freeman. All right. Here, I'll go back to I'll take it back to the pitch. All right, you ready? So here we go. So it's a 3-1 count on Freeman. Okay, 3-1 count. Right? Little is the relief pitcher who, by the way, Little is the dude who came on and loaded the bases. Okay, Little was the pitcher who got the bases loaded, and then fucking Eugenio Suarez came up and grand slammed to give the Mariners a 3-2 lead. Okay, it was same pitcher, Little. Dude, this guy's like not good, but they put him in lefty on lefty to go against Freeman. All right. And so it's a 3-2 count. And Freeman throws a strike, a 3-1. Now it's 3-2. Full count. No outs. Full count. All right. Full count. Bottom of the 18th. And I think he throws a heater. What does he do? Yeah. Oh, he dropped it was a sinker, but right over the plate, dude. Straight over the center field wall, boss. He threw a sinker right in the middle of the plate. And fucking, fuck you, Little. Straight down the fucking, right over the 395, dude. It literally went straight down the middle of the ballpark. Gone. All right, let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, let's go. All right, good to see. And we're back. There we go. That's my narration. All right. Not over yet? No, it's not over. And those of you who are from Canada, you got to realize I don't really have anything against the Blue Jays. It's just you guys knocked the Mariners out. And so I'm bitter about that. And I grew up in LA, so I'm going to cheer for the Dodgers to stomp you guys. Right? But really, I love the city of Toronto. You know what I'm saying? I love the fucking city of Toronto. You know what I mean? But so, dude, this shit though is fucking gnarly. All right? This shit is so gross, dude. And then he shows buildings burning. Right? I mean, dude. Yeah, see, when I saw the buildings burning, I like, you know, I thought of like, you know, definite, like, I thought he had a Mamdani plane flying into him. But dude, this is so gross, bro. His video, it's just hard to watch. Mamdani should sue. No, you can't sue. There's nothing to sue here. It's just gross. You know what I'm saying? It's just gross is what it is. They deleted it. Okay, they deleted it. Did Mamdani do a response? See, that's what I love about him. They're literally calling him a terrorist. Yeah, so I mean, they're not. They're saying that he's pro-criminal, right? They didn't like, and saying somebody's a terrorist is not enough for defamation. You would have to show an injury by that. You know what I mean? But let's see where his response video is. Do we have a link to it? Plus, in political ads, you can say pretty much anything you want, dude. Nobody's fucking suing there. Dude, I saw this fucking video was brilliant, bro. Did someone have a link to the Mamdani response? Where's the link to it? All right. Well, I'm not going to search around for it if we can't find it. Nobody knows a link to it. It doesn't appear to be coming up. I don't know why it's not coming up. Dude, it should be coming up. But so one of the things though that like I'd like to point out is, believe it or not, it was from a tweet I saw today from that fucking gamer idiot, fucking Tectone. Okay. So this guy, now these gamers, this guy is like a miniature Asmongold, only he's balder and uglier and has bigger man tits, and he's probably dumber, but he's just as rapey weirdo, has a lot of history of just being nasty. But he posted something today, okay, where he said he posted, right? He's a guy who like calls people who do OnlyFans whores and shit. This guy, he's one of those, okay? But so he posted something today where he was... Where was it? Here, I'll find it. I replied to it. I'll have to get in the replies. It's this shit, okay? Where he says white privilege is propaganda that real racists have been using to be racist towards whites for things they never did for decades. Now, this guy's just fucking rambling out his fucking mouth, right? And then earlier today, he said some other shit about that, like Tectone. Again, he's one of these Asmongold guys. And his day was spent being like, saying like, oh, racism against white people is bad. okay? Like the real racists are the people that are against white people. But like, here's the deal. Oh no, you know what it was? Is he said that anyone who says you can't be racist against white people is like, you're a racist. Those are the real racists, are the people who say you can't be racist against white people. Now, here's the deal. Is you can be prejudiced against white people for sure. Absolutely. Prejudice against white people exists, often by other white people, okay? Because of the culture of whiteness, there are plenty of people who don't like stereotypically white people or who don't like whiteness or white people. Absolutely, okay? Prejudice exists. But the concept of racism, the ism, is about a foundational systemic thing. It's about a power structure, okay? So now you could go to an all-black country, okay? You could probably go to a country in Africa where everybody in power is black, and there may exist in that country, there may exist some racism against white people. Absolutely. But in America, it's not possible, okay? It is just not possible because the entire structure here is built around whiteness. Like, for example, okay, if a brown-skinned person breaks in to a building, all brown-skinned people have to answer for that break-in in America. If a Muslim runs for fucking office in New York City, the white people in America, many of them are like, wow, he's automatically a terrorist and he's automatically a symbol of terrorism. That's the ism, okay? That's the racism when your existence becomes the symbol, okay? Now, for example, a white guy goes and shoots up, right? A white guy goes and shoots up a music festival and kills 100 people, right? Injures 600. They don't start rethinking white guys being able to have guns. But if a trans person commits a shooting, they're ready to pass laws, right? When black people commit a shooting, they're like, whoa, like these people are out of control. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the ism part. The ism part is that structural component, okay? So there can absolutely be prejudice against white people, and there are people who certainly don't like white people, but there is no racism. It's impossible to have any racism in the structure of American white culture. You just can't have it. It just doesn't exist. It's never going to exist, right? I don't think in any of our lifetimes, unless there's some crazy event to take place. But like those people who are trying to, like, you know, that mega thing of like this, they're trying to crush DEI and they're trying to say that there's racism against white people. You know what it really is for the first time in history, right, in the last 10 years, white people and especially white men have been held accountable for their behavior, like far closer to the way that other people have been accountable for their behavior for hundreds of years, right? And so what's funny is now that little bit of accountability to the white men feels like racism, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro. It's like the tiniest fucking loss of privilege, and they're like, I'm being discriminated against. Dude. Yeah, so you know what? I mean, I'll give you an example. Dude, Dude, I got to give Keeler some props. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Dude, Keeler with the five gifteds. Dude, John Connolly, first off, thank you for the pair, dude. Appreciate you so much. All right, let's go. And then 5 gifted memberships from Keeler, bro. Let's go, baby. Thank you. Let me start a dance school. And then I got something else to say about the whole racism shit. Because I feel like the way to look at, we'll go 45 minutes. All right, dance party. Let's go, baby. So let me just tell you guys, you know the greatest, there it is, 45 minutes, 15 light blue, or so it's $2 super chats, okay, or more. But so let me just tell you, if you want to see the sort of racism reflected, I think one of the number one ways we see it, like one of the purest ways to see it, is in the healthcare system, okay? And if you know black people, okay, if you're a white person, if you're a black person, you know black people, you know about this or you've already experienced it. But if you're a white person and you know black people, ask them about this experience. Because the number one way that I think we see racism express itself every single day is in the healthcare system, and especially with black women. Because what happens is a black person goes to the emergency room, they're having a health issue. They go to the doctor and they complain of pain. And the number one thing that happens is the doctors tend to not believe them. They think they're making it up. They think they're drug seeking. They start peppering them with a lot of questions, especially black women in pregnancies. There's a lot of miscarriages and a lot of things that happen to black women because the doctors just think they're making this shit up. Whereas a white guy comes in and says he's in pain, I want a second opinion, I want a third opinion, and they're like, let's roll out all the doctors we have and make sure you're comfortable with the diagnosis. And this happens like, this is like a base level, and that thing that happens, okay, that is very real, okay, and you can literally, you know, you can ask like people who are interns, up and coming doctors. It is like very, very prevalent, guys. It is like so out in the open. It's just a thing that fucking happens consistently, and what I like to take from that is that it's not exclusive to the healthcare industry. That's just one of the place where it becomes obvious, okay? It's so obvious and so easy to see. Now, what's crazy about it is that happens across many things. It happens in job interviews. It happens when the cops ask somebody the question and says, hey, you know, what are you doing? They just don't believe them. It's happening with ICE now when a brown person shows their real ID to the ICE agents and they don't believe it's real. They think it's fucking forged, right? It is literally this thing that happens to people of color all the fucking time. And it's something that never fucking happens to white people in America ever. You never get that. You never, right? I mean, you might have like people talk about it on Twitter, okay? But you don't get it. A white guy doesn't go into what the cops don't stop a white guy and then automatically think he's lying. Okay, the doctors don't assume a white guy is drug seeking if he's in pain. Okay, the doctors don't assume the white woman who says her stomach hurts when she's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking, it is a thing that we just don't have to deal with. And if we do deal with it, it is not about our whiteness, okay? It's about our poverty level. Okay, that's what'll happen is if a white guy looks like a druggie, stringy hair, unwashed, you look scruffy, they might think you're drug seeking. Okay, but the problem with the people of color is you could be a very wealthy black man that's well put together, and you're still going to get the drug seeking, I don't believe you behavior, even if you look like a goddamn fucking CEO. Okay, you're still going to get the questioning from the cop if you look like a CEO, right? It's like the white guy never gets it because of their white skin. They only get it because of their, you know, their class level and their look about them in, you know, of their behavior. Or I bet if they were there with a black person, right, they might get it, you know? And that's the shit, dude. Yeah, dude, Orphan, you're not wrong, right? You're right. There are people that eugenically have that eugenic shit going on that literally think black people have this automatic higher tolerance for pain, dude. Dude, if you look like Asmongold, you look like a drug seeker. Dude, Asmongold, what a piece of shit, dude. Him and Tectone, like those guys are such pieces of shit. I'm going to go on the record and say that the fact that Asmongold and Tectone can be wealthy entertainment figures just shows you what a failure capitalism is, right? Dude, let's go. Dude, snow puppies. Sam, thank you. You know what I'm saying? That's how we know capitalism is a failure, because those guys get elevated, bro. Dude, it's like, that's how you know. How do I know capitalism is a failure? You look at Asmongold, you look at Tectone, you look at Aiden Ross, right? And you look at Donald Trump and say, these guys prosper in this system. You're like, oh, yeah, dude, you're right. That system sucks. Dude, that's how you know. That's case, like, I swear, if I take that evidence before the jury's going to come back and be like, we agree, capitalism sucks. Dude, Joe Rogan, yes. Dude. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, bro. All right. Let's get political, shall we? Shall we get fucking political? Hold on, let me look and see what my videos are doing. All right, we got videos that are doing pretty well tonight. Candace video was doing great until about 4 p.m. Then it died out. It's coming up on 30,000. That's good. All right, all right. Let's go. Let's go. I like it. I like it. Dude, the Kristi Noem video is a 10 of 10. I'm kind of surprised by that. Dude, wish we could get rid of the terms black and white. Submit what color we are by hex number. That would be interesting. Dude, see, you know, I think, guys, I'll be honest. I mean, you know, I've said this before, that I think if we moved towards a world where there weren't those kinds of markers, right? Like if you got rid of gender and race markers, you know, I mean, it's hard because there's so much like segregation. There's been so much segregation and racism and shit existing. You know what I'm saying? But, well, so, oh no, that's not exactly true. Okay, because when you say we don't need to look at people based off colors, it's like you kind of do. See, here's what's complicated. Martine, let's go. Thank you for the Let's Dance healthcare is shit for women TikTok guy goes into. Yeah, Miranda, absolutely. But so let me just say, it's hard, right? Because the thing is it's different than just being a descriptor. Okay, because And I mean, you know, the example is like blonde, okay? A blonde woman is the example, all right? And I'll get to the blonde woman in a minute, but the problem is you have to see color because it says a lot about their experience, right? Like, for example, guys, let me give you an example, okay? I will give you an example. And it's my experience that I've had sometimes interacting with people of color. Okay, sometimes I interact with people of color, right? Whether they're a black man or woman, or like, you know, sometimes I experience people of color and they don't trust me right away. They may be suspicious of me and they may give me a little attitude in the beginning, right? Especially it used to happen when I was a white guy with like pink hair, okay? I would sometimes, people of color would give me an attitude and a little bit of a distrust because, right? Because I'm walking around with this huge amount of privilege and so what's interesting is by me sort of seeing their color and seeing their reaction and not taking it personal, but processing it through like the amount of privilege I have and that I get to walk through the world. I'm understanding if a person of color doesn't trust me right away, if I have to earn it a little bit, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, same thing happens with trans people, right? When I'm around a trans person, a trans woman looks at me and I am the enemy at first, okay? And I have to see that. I have to see their experience as a trans person and how many times they've been harassed by cisgender men in order for me to understand and give them space to maybe have a less than positive view of me in the beginning and understand that their experience, like, yeah, I get that. So I'm not going to hold it against them. You know what I'm saying? And so I think like seeing people's color or seeing how they've been marginalized is important, is important. And yeah, like what Sky said, as a trans woman, you kind of assume any self-proclaimed Christian or right-winger is bigoted until proven otherwise. Yeah, no, I get it. And so the thing that's really interesting about that is I think if you don't see color, okay, if you don't see color, you're going to not see people's experience. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean that like I'm going to have different boundaries, and that doesn't mean I'm going to let people abuse me, right? But the thing is like, it's about being understanding, like I look at it when I encounter marginalized people, if they don't trust me at first, I don't hold it against them, I don't hold it against them, and I give them space to have that, you know what I'm saying? And that comes from like seeing their color, and I mean, it comes from like, we experience it not even about race. There's a lot of it is gender here too, right? Like seeing a woman. Now, the reason why I brought up the blonde woman, okay? The reason why I brought up the blonde woman in the beginning of this is because the blonde woman, okay, is a blonde woman. Yeah, you got it, Lightning. I get that. Yeah, no, it's hard. Blonde women have experienced this. And maybe they don't experience it so much now, but when I was a kid, there was a huge trope about blonde women, okay? That blonde women were dumb, okay? So every woman who was a blonde, like, automatically got treated dumb. And I mean, you could look back, ask, a woman who's like 40 years or older at what it was like in the 70s. And the 80s. And it was really one of those things where they certainly didn't suffer, the same thing that happened with racism or any of that. It like the consequences weren't nearly as severe. But what would happen is blonde women would go into the workforce, and the minute they would go into the workforce, they would automatically get this dismissive attitude like they didn't have anything to contribute. And they'd get it even more than, like, women already get that, right? Or if a woman is feisty, it's like, whoa, you need to calm down. Remember what Charlie Kirk used to say? Every time a woman would light him up, he's, oh, you need to calm down. You're getting too emotional, right? That's another thing there, right? Where if a woman gets emotional, it's like indicative of the whole womanhood, right? And again, that's that's where you see the isms, right? That's the ism. It leads into that greater fucking trope. Now, see, what's interesting about it is when we talk about this shit, okay? When we talk about this stuff, you've seen the Republican men, okay? The Republican men talk about, you know, about how, oh, we've become Republicans because you hate men, right? Democrats hate men. Democrats said men were bad, masculinity was bad, so now we decided to go hang out with the Nazis. Meh, right? You know, we've heard that. But the funny thing about it is we should be able to simply process it as like women being distrustful of men is about 6,000 years of being raped, right? Of being domestically abused, of having no voting rights, no property rights, no, right? You know what I'm saying? Nobody fucking looking out for their interests and nobody to turn to when their rights get violated. Thousands of years. So yeah, the women are choosing the bear, but we don't have to look at that as like a thing about me. They're not choosing the bear because I'm bad or because men are bad. They're choosing the bear because of their experiences of living as women. So like, let that be and become a man who can earn the trust of a woman and prove that you're worth more than the bear. And then you don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But men are like, wait, you don't automatically revere me. So now I'm wounded and you're bad and you fucking, now I'm going to go hang out with the Nazis. It's so stupid. You know, dude, Caps, let's go. I hit them both at the same time. You know? You know? But yeah, man, I don't know. I think that like sometimes people say colorblind and you can't be colorblind. You got to see color to understand people's experience. You know, I think it's hard though, because, you know, basically we live in a world right here. Dude, let's go, Facts. I appreciate you. We live in a world here, guys, where the reality is that, you know, every black person or every Hispanic person walks around, every woman, they walk around in the world, in America. Okay, dude, Pika, let's go. This is my final thought on this. In America, people of color, the LGBTQ, especially the trans people and women, they walk around in a world where the actions of all women, or the historical actions of women, of their people of their same race or gender, are with them all the time. Okay? If a woman says she was raped, because there's some women out there, a couple of them, who have made up a story about rape, right? All women have to answer to the fact that a couple, like 0.1% made it up. Okay? If you're Hispanic, you may get assumed you're undocumented and they're going to check your papers. Or if a Hispanic person commits a crime, you might be dangerous, right? Same with black people. If black people commit crime, it's like, whoa, they're unruly. And they have to deal with all of that shit. Every time a black person gets arrested or pulled over by the cops, they have to keep their hands in the air because of, like, you know, whatever, one black guy who shot a cop 40 years ago or what have you, right? It's like they have to live with the actions of everyone else in their group. And like, but the white men are like, we don't want to answer for any of our actions. Like, yeah, I know some white men owned slaves, and I know that segregation was for 100 years, and I know that the wealth gap for people of color is still hideous, but I didn't do it. So don't ask me anything. Right? But the minute the woman something is like, well, this woman 20 years ago fucking did some shit. And so now you need to answer for that. Right? And it's like, you know what I mean? But it's like, bro, like the white men don't want to have to carry the burden for anything in their history at all. You know what I mean? None of it. You know? And so that, you know, and that's the thing. Like, see, the way I look at it is this, is like when I talk about white men, or when I talk about toxic masculinity, or when I talk about men, I don't have to take it personal, because I know how my privilege works. Okay. I know that even if I don't do something specifically, I know I could do it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. That's how I connect with it, right? Like the thing is a woman, you know, if women don't trust men and they think all men are like grapey, I don't feel like a grapist because women think all men are grapey. But I know very well, like, how easy it would be to go out with a woman and to, you know, get her very liquored up to the point of where she couldn't consent. And then I could do whatever I wanted. And the next day she would have literally no recourse. So I understand why women think all men are grapey, because even those of us who would never fucking do that, it's available to every fucking one of us all the time. And they literally live in a world where they have to fucking, like, that's their reality. That anytime they go out, that potential outcome is there. And there will be no fucking recourse for them. If they go to the cops, go to the medical center and get a rape kit, people will not believe them. They'll think, oh, you just had too much to drink and you were irresponsible with yourself and you were dressed wrong and you shouldn't have been out with that guy, and so on and so forth. Okay? And that's a fucking problem, man. Women shouldn't have to live in that kind of world. Like, we should all know that even though that shit is available to any one of us, we would never fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? We would never engage in that behavior. We would never have sex with a woman who is drunk. That's not our girlfriend unless we had consent before they got drunk, right? That's the way men should be. You know what I'm saying? We should be like, we should hold ourselves to a high fucking standard. You know? You know what I'm saying? And speaking of this is going to be a good lead in, because we're going to lead into Riley Gaines. Okay? And I saw Sky talking about trans women having to leave Texas. This is a perfect lead in, because yes, trans women get it a lot. Okay? They are getting it from every side. You know? They are. Like, Riley Gaines is an example. Okay? Because Riley Gaines got into it today with AOC. And AOC just dragged her. Dragged her so bad that Riley Gaines went on Fox News to cry about it. Dude, Riley is such a degenerate, dude. What a scumbag. But do you know, I don't know if you guys know, but let's get into this, okay? Let's go look at Riley, because, dude, AOC just fucking rubbed her nose in the dirt today, okay? But the thing about Riley that we got to look at that is truly good is let's start at the beginning, okay? So the beginning was this, okay? Where Zoran tweets with AOC, Bernie, Zoran, packed house. He says, thank you, New York City. Let's win, okay? Right? Thank you, New York City. Let's win. And just a beautiful moment, okay? It's a beautiful fucking moment. And of course, Riley, okay, she says here, she says, we're being destroyed from within, is what she says. Look at that. We're being destroyed from within by the people who want healthcare, right? By the people who want affordable, you know, free childcare so everybody can have kids, right? I mean, Riley Gaines and all her fucking religious zealot freaks are like, you need to have more kids. And so these people are like, okay, let's have people have more kids. Let's fucking, you know, make it so you get childcare. So you can be rich or poor or whatever, and everybody can just have as many kids as they want, right? But like, nope. Oh, destroyed from within. Why? Because these people accept gay people. Because these people don't demonize the poor. Because these people accept transgender people and want everyone to have rights. Because these people think healthcare is a right and not a privilege for the wealthy few, right? Because these people want, decent wages and think the rich people should pay some taxes. Okay, but Riley's like, we're being destroyed from within. It's also about this guy, because she's a bigot. She thinks that if you're not a Christian, Jesus freak, you have no value. But anyway, so that was the thing that started this off. Okay, right? And now I fucking, then AOC, okay? AOC, hold on, let me fucking keep this. So AOC responded to this. Okay, and in beautiful fashion too. All right, hold on. We're gonna get the dual fucking thing going here, dude. We are definitely being destroyed by MAGA. So AOC said, maybe if you channeled all this anger into swimming faster, you wouldn't have come in fifth. Oh shit, bro. Oh, Lord have mercy. Now, it was a burn. She is great in social media, but it goes beyond the burn, guys, because it also goes to like the sort of like ratio, because Riley Gaines got 82,000 likes with her little post, and then AOC burns her for almost 400,000 likes. So it's like a 5x like ratio of involvement of people just slamming Riley. You know what I'm saying? And this really hurts MAGA. Like, they spend a lot of time using Elon's bot farms to ratio people and to get more engagement from them. It's a real big deal to them. So them getting ratioed like that is like extra special, because it like bothers them. Okay, they are really fucking, you know what I'm saying? They really get triggered by that shit. Okay, now Riley though didn't take kindly to that. Okay, because so Riley fucking, where does she go in? And she goes right here. Okay, so look at this. So Riley says, it's always hilarious when they think they've landed a gotcha by pointing out I was the 5th fastest woman in the nation, yet they conveniently forget the mediocre man. Of course, she's got to try to misgender Leah Thomas, who ranked 462nd in the men's division, LOL. And she calls her a misogynistic dunce, is what she calls her. Now, here's the thing, guys. And this has been my recurring issue with Riley Gaines about this, okay? Riley Gaines claims that AOC's the misogynist, that if you're not anti-trans, you're a misogynist. Like her, the existence of trans women is like some type of misogyny to Riley Gaines, okay? And so it became her mission. A trans woman got 5th place with Riley, but they only had one trophy, so they gave it to the trans woman, and Riley never forgot it, and it became her entire existence was now living out that personal slight of her being anti-trans. But here's what I said to her. I said, what I think is not hilarious, right, was how your swim coach was raping all your teammates while you were at University of Kentucky. And I don't know if you guys know this, but while Riley Gaines was in college at University of Kentucky, her coach was raping her teammates. It was a huge fucking scandal, okay? A massive fucking scandal. Multiple teammates were raped by this coach. And now what's crazy is every year in the NCAA, 10,000 women report rapes. 10,000. That's reported. Okay, we don't even know how many actually occur, but there are 10,000 reported. Riley was on a team where her teammates were raped by her fucking coach. Okay, you look at these gymnasts that were abused by that doctor, It's been a rampant problem with gymnasts, with swimmers, with all kinds of women athletes and their coaches. Okay, rampant. But what's crazy is none of that provoked Riley to be anti-rape and to try to help women, get fucking, like not be raped, right? And now we look at sexual assault. SA is like one of the number one problems for all women, whether you're high school, whether you're college, whether you're out of college, like literally 1 out of 3 gets SA'd. Like maybe even more. You know what I'm saying? And so it is probably the number one issue that women face. And yet Riley, 10,000 women every year report rapes. And yet Riley doesn't care about that, even though her teammates got raped. But she focuses on 10 trans athletes. So for her, women sharing locker spaces with 10 trans athletes is a bigger problem than 10,000 women being raped, right? And that's fucking ridiculous. Now the problem is if there's a transgender athlete that has a penis and women really have an issue with like a transgender athlete because of the existence of a penis, you could simply like have private stalls. Like why do young people have to be naked with each other in a locker room anyway? Give them a private stall. I mean, it's not hard to do. It doesn't cost that much money to have a little fucking changing stall. All of these colleges have plenty of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people who don't like to do physical classes because they don't want to change in front of people, right? There's no reason people need to be naked around one another. It's very easily, very small amount of construction can make that happen. So, right? So instead of like getting rid of the existence of transgender people, we could just say, hey, oh, you don't want to see their genitalia? Okay, let's make it so you don't have to. I mean, dude, it's real easy. But I thought this was interesting, okay? Because Riley Gaines is like, she doesn't really care about women, okay? She doesn't. She does not care about women. If she cared about women, she wouldn't believe that a 10-year-old girl should deliver a rapist baby. If she cared about women, she would be more concerned about the 10,000 SAs in the NCAA rather than the 10 trans athletes in the NCAA, right? If she cared about women, she certainly would have never voted for Donald Trump, an adulterous, grapey person who says he grabs women by the genitalia, doesn't even ask, right? No women who cares about women. If you voted for Donald Trump, you don't care about women, okay? Period. I don't care, male or female. If you voted for Donald Trump, you don't give a shit about women, okay? In fact, you kind of hate them, okay? You're a gaslighting fucking fool, okay? But what Riley does care about is she cares about trying to acquire power for her religion. She cares about acquiring religious power and using that religious power in order to stomp out everything that her religion, right, decrees should be stomped out. Now, the irony, of course, is none of this shit is even in their religion. Like, there were transgender people when Jesus was around, okay? They were, like, there's entire societies, the Hijra in fucking India and Pakistan, the Oaxacans, right? Down in fucking Oaxaca, South Central America, Southern Mexico. I mean, dude, you go to Polynesian, okay? The Polynesian world, my God. You go to New Zealand and the Polynesian, Tahiti, Hawaii, all of Polynesia has been celebrating third gender for like fucking centuries, okay? And they, the native people here, Two-Spirit, Native Americans, and now these other cultures used to revere them. Oaxaca isn't, yeah, but it's the very southern fucking Mexico. It's basically Central America, right? I know it's technically Mexico, but it's so far south. that it's practically Central America, right? The Muxas, yeah. But so what's crazy about this though is that every culture that had transgender people, they revered them. Okay? They revered their differences. They were often the shaman or the Shah women. Dude, Pika, let's go. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? There was an appreciation and a reverence for their difference, as opposed to like this, like, right? But what bothers me about Riley Gaines and her cohorts is that it's not even just enough to like harm, okay? Like the thing about Riley Gaines is it's not even about, oh, I don't want to share a locker room with Lia Thomas. I don't want to like tie a race with Lia Thomas. She's like, Lia Thomas doesn't exist. Okay, Riley Gaines and her cohorts insist that transgender people don't even exist, that they're lying, that they're diseased, that they're all fraudulent, right? Even though there's thousands of years, okay, there's thousands of years of the existence of transgender people across every culture, but this dumb bitch and her Christian fucking weirdo like cohorts get to say, nope, none of these people exist. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And, right? So that's some wild shit, boss. You know what I mean? That is what's crazy. You know? It's just like a complete, like, it's not even about like, like accommodating, or it's simply you don't exist, right? They don't exist, But anyway, so then Riley did what the woman who's a transphobic Christian white woman gets to do, is Riley gets to go on Fox News, okay? So this is what happened, right? Is Riley gets to, after this, Riley is so oppressed and so, downtrodden by whatever the trans, people that have affected her, that after she gets mad at AOC, she gets to go on Fox News and rant and cry about this shit. So what happened here is then Riley decided to that she was going to challenge AOC to a debate. Okay? So let's watch some of Riley's clips. Dude. Right? Oh, man. You wish content creators would stay on topic. Yeah, but so here's the thing, though, Ash, is you need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that, like, with love. Because if you look at, like, Abigail Spanberger and Winsome, okay, in Virginia, the reality is every Republican campaign is now run on transphobia, okay? That's literally it. That was the entire crux of fucking the campaign now, right? The whole what is a woman, and then the you're, they, them, and the trans ads after Trump did that. That will be the cornerstone of every Republican campaign from here on out. There's no way to avoid it. All right. You cannot, when the other side is fighting a culture war, you can't just stick your head in the toilet and pretend like it isn't happening. Unless you are just fine with letting them win the culture war and kill all the trans people. You know what I'm saying? It's like you literally have to, like, we have to flood the zone with this. It's a requirement. It is. And what's more, I'm tired of Donald Trump chewing up all the fat too. Fuck him, bro. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Fuck Donald Trump. Dude, he doesn't need to be the subject of everything we talk about. That fucking piece of shit, dude. Pine Box. Dude, what's crazy about it too, though, is that, you know, trans women at Mar-a-Lago use the ladies' room and with the women there, and they always have. So, but anyway, watch this. All right, here we go.
Democrats are remaking their party into a socialist party. Do you think that any of the old school Democrats have the mojo, Riley, to kind of try to reform this from within, or are they all cowed?
Well, honestly, Laura, I don't think there is such thing as the old school Democrats anymore. I mean, think about it. Tell me a moderate Democrat at any level, local, state, or federal. I mean, seriously, try and tell me one. Senator Fetterman is the most sane Democrat in Congress. And
dude, Fetterman isn't even a Democrat. You see this? Tell me one moderate Democrat. Dude, what a fucking jackhole this woman is. Like, my God, dude. Dude, these, like Riley Gaines, if she went to Europe, she would spontaneously combust. Dude, Fetterman is MAGA. The fuck are we talking about? He ain't a moderate Democrat. He's MAGA. He was always MAGA. He was MAGA when he pulled a shotgun on a black man. We should have recognized the sign in the beginning. Like, come on, bro. To them, though, you're only moderate. You have to be them. Okay? That's the problem with MAGA. Is their tolerance is zero, right? You either do everything they want, you see the world exactly the way they see it, or you are an extremist, right? If they're like, you know what I mean? That's the MAGA reality. If you deviate from their beliefs one iota, you're an extremist, okay? Dude, seriously, they're fucking morons.
There's not even a close second. People like Mamdani, AOC, Crockett, those are the leaders of the Democratic Party now. That's who calls the shots. And who gets the short end of the stick here?
I don't think they call the shots. They're definitely not calling the shots, okay? I mean, they are the leaders of the Democratic Party, especially for the young people. AOC, Mamdani, Jasmine Crockett. For sure. There's other people that are in there, you know, a little bit like Gavin Newsom. There's some other guys that are a little more chill, like Tallarico, John Ossoff. Okay. And some of these guys are a little more middle of the road. You know what I'm saying? But there's no doubt that AOC, Mamdani, and Jasmine Crockett are like some of the future. Yeah. Pritzker, he's one too. But here's the thing though. They're not calling the shots. Okay, for them to think that AOC and Mamdani and Jasmine Crockett are calling the shots. Dude, Jasmine Crockett doesn't even have a district anymore. Dude, Texas is trying to gerrymander out of her job, right? That's how threatened they are by her. But they are not calling the shots. If they were calling the shots, Andrew Cuomo wouldn't be fucking running. You know what I'm saying? If they were calling the shots, our fucking Democratic platform would be very, very different.
We do. The American people, taxpayers, and right now specifically, it's military members, it's TSA workers, it's the 41 million Americans who receive SNAP benefits. They get the short end of the stick because the Democrats have voted 12 times to keep the government closed and shut down because they care more about illegals receiving health care free in this country than they do about Americans. So to be...
Again, that's a lie. That's lies. Dude, that is lies. That's not the truth, right? It has nothing to do with illegals. First off, there is no such thing as illegals. Riley, you fucking dipshit, right? What is she talking about, dude? Dude, and look at Laura fucking Ingraham. Like, goddamn, bro. Laura Ingraham, dude. Every time I see her, dude, she's looking more and more like a bleached leather belt, dude. Right? It's like, goddamn, dude. What the fuck, bro? And you know what's funny is the Republicans aren't even in D.C. right now, okay? The Democrats have been in D.C. this whole time, okay? They could literally, you ready for this? They could pass a clean CR right now, okay? If the Republicans wanted to pass a CR to just pay the military and shit, okay? They could do it. They could absolutely do it. At the same time, they could do the nuclear option and just fucking do what they're doing in the Senate. And the Republicans could do their own bidding without the Democrats if they wanted to. They have options, but no, they're sitting here and just, you know, circle jerking it.
To be honest with you, Laura, no, I don't think we'll see reform here. I think we will continue to see them double down because, number one, either they're too ignorant, they're too prideful, or they're too evil to recant from their previous positions and voting records.
Too evil. You like that they throw that in there? We're evil, right? We're evil, right? That's their go-to, okay? That we're evil. All right, now watch this. Here's where she gets good because now she says she wants to debate AOC. Riley does. Okay, now Riley is just looking for some of that attention. She wants a little bit of clout, but watch this.
Here's what I will say. I want to honestly challenge AOC to a debate. She can defend socialism. I will defend capitalism. She can defend removing God. I will defend embracing a biblical worldview. She can defend child sacrifice. I will defend the sanctity of life. Any of the radical...
Child sacrifice, bro. Right? I mean, dude, if you can't have a discussion about abortion without... Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the problem, is the issue is abortion. The issue is a woman needing consent for her uterus to be used as an incubator. But Riley Gaines is like child sacrifice. She's in some biblical fucking bean flicking land, right? You know what I mean? So, like, dude, you can't have a sensible debate with somebody who doesn't even see what the fucking issue is, right? If you don't know what the issue is, I mean, this is like the same with their transgender fucking mythology, right? The issue is transgender youth being able to have a normal life integrated into society. And they're like men and women's sports. And it's like, there are no men playing in women's sports, and nobody wants men to be playing in women's sports. Nobody does. Nobody does. And not a single Democrat is advocating for men to play in women's sports. No, nope. What they want, though, is they want the very few number of transgender kids in America to be able to fucking integrate into society and have a fucking normal life. You know what I'm saying? That's all that they want. Right? Here. Let's go. Yeah, dude, I don't know. There's somebody that felt like they were being a fucking troll. I'm sorry, guys. No offense, but if I feel even the tiniest inkling that you're trolling in chat, you get the boot. All right? Just so you know, don't cry to me, Argentina. All right? You know what I'm saying? But all right, guys. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, the goal ended? Oh, man, dude, I wasn't watching the timer. All right, let's fucking try another one, dude. I'm sorry, boss. We're going to try another dance party goal. I'll try to pay attention to this one. All right, I let it expire. There we go. Yeah, dude, I mean, people like, but isn't that funny, though? She wants a debate. All right, here we go.
Insane democratic policies, biblical world, removing God. I will... Here's what I will
I'm just going to go back to the beginning here.
Here's what I will say. I want to honestly challenge AOC to a debate. She can defend socialism. I will defend capitalism. She can defend removing God. I will defend embracing a biblical worldview. She can defend child sacrifice. I will defend the sanctity of life. Any of the radical, insane democratic policies and platform that they stand for, I will debate the opposite. I'm challenging AOC to it here.
I thought you were going to challenge her to like a freestyle, 100 freestyle or something. I'm like, that's
that too.
That's an unfair fight. Or
a fair fight to her is putting a man in the pool.
Yeah, no, you could wear like 100-pound weight and challenge her to it. That would be fair, actually. Mark and Riley, both of you.
All right, so now though, AOC responded to that and said, "Look at what AOC said, dude. Real simple." And I would like to challenge this person to get a real job. Oh, dude. Brutal. And I would like to challenge this person to get a real job. That is just so good. And I mean, guys, it's so fucking true, right? When you think about it, like Riley Gaines, she's never actually worked, guys. She's never worked. She literally went to college, okay? She was on a swim team. The coach was raping a bunch of girls. She was oblivious to that. She had one swim race where she tied for 5th place with a transgender swimmer. Then she got mad. She made a big deal about it. Then she became a poster child. And then right-wing billionaires just gave her money to be a spokesperson, to be their culture war warrior. Yeah, same with Charlie Kirk. I mean, it's what happens when you're a white person of mediocre talent who comes from a wealthy enough family that you can get, ingratiated into their billionaire right-wing culture, okay? And then you don't have to work. You can just be a mouthpiece for a culture war and make a ton of money, right? This is the right-wing sort of way. They don't work. People like Nick Sortor and all these like independent journalists, the same people that are getting paid to be here in Portland. Dude, it's all bullshit, boss. They're all like fucking scoundrels. But isn't that amazing? I would like to challenge this person to get a real job. Dude, she just savaged her. And then that was it. Okay, so AOC replied to 2 tweets, right? Swim faster. And then, she's like, I'd like to challenge her to get a real job. But what's crazy about this, guys, is Riley Gaines sat on this all day. Okay? She sat on it all day, bro. Right? From first, we're being destroyed within. Then she went on to like say that these are Hitler salutes, right? Even though they were waving, you know what I'm saying? They never show the video. The right wing always just shows a picture, right? But she's like, oh, these are Hitler salutes. She went down that route, okay? Then she's like attacking a black queer woman as a victim, right? Then she's like on her illegal shit, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But she's fucking back on Mamdani about the rent. She goes into a little faith, right? This, though, happened today. This is kind of gnarly, guys. Florida, you ready for this? So TPUSA, and you may have noticed this, but they're rebranding, guys, okay? Because the stink of TPUSA and the toxicity around this shit, they're rebranding it to call it Club America, okay? You see that? Florida now is putting a TPUSA sponsored Club America in every Florida high school. So now every Florida high school is going to have a right-wing TPUSA chapter. Like TPUSA is going to be inside every Florida high school, but they're calling it Club America. And I think that's significant, guys, that they rebranded it, because it shows you, though, that TPUSA is crashing out, right? The fact that they have to rebrand. And guys, I'm telling you, you got to be aware. They're trying to do it with middle schools, okay? They're trying to get into middle schools. So if you have kids, okay, you have to be vigilant of this and try to fight back against this in your school district, because they're trying to put this shit in every middle school. I mean, they already want to integrate PragerU as the curriculum, and Trump's going to be doing that. I mean, this is fucking gonna fucking be crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're after it. So then she's on fucking AOC, and then she's on AOC again with Tommy Tuberville, okay? And then she's like on Islamophobia is fake. Okay. Everything we're doing to Zoran is fake. Right. Then she's like challenged to a debate. Right. Then she is on fucking Charlie Kirk's daughter. She's got more of her debate shit. Right. She's more Charlie Kirk. Oh, she responded. I guess she responded to the, I have a real job, she says. I'm a mom. It's the most important and rewarding job in the world. I think if you had a baby girl like I do, you'd understand my positions a little better. Oh, you see that? Dude, there it is, though. This is the same shit they do with their religion, right? Their religion is like, oh, yeah, like what I do with myself is more valuable than yours because I'm doing the real important and rewarding shit. And you're just a peon. I'll pray for you, right? You know what I'm saying? That's what that shit is. Dude, they always do that. You know what I'm saying? They always do that. But here's the funny thing. You ready? You ready for this, guys? Check this out, though. Check this out. I'm about to rip Riley a new one, though. You ready? Because Riley says, I have a real job. I'm a mom. It's the most important and rewarding job in the world. But guess what, Riley Gaines? Zoran Mamdani and AOC are trying to make it so the people doing the most important and rewarding job in the world have help, that they have access to childcare, that they have access to health care for them and the child, that they get plenty of paid family leave so they can do that important and rewarding job. Oh, wait, but you don't like that. You think being a mom is so important and so rewarding, but you don't want to help moms. You like there's going to be zero legislation to help moms, right? So yeah, you really think it's important, don't you? That every mom who has a kid, you're like, fuck them. Fuck your paid family leave. Fuck your health care. Fuck your, child care, right? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that funny? She thinks it's so important. Oh, if you had a baby girl, you'd understand. But like, dude, AOC doesn't even have a baby girl. And she's trying to do more for moms than Riley Gaines would ever do. Okay? Riley Gaines doesn't want to help moms at all, dude. She doesn't think being a mom is important, right? Not at all, dude. Dude, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm sure she has a nanny too. Now she's like, dude, Tim Tebow's got a book. Jesus, right? And then I guess her pin post is her and Charlie Kirk. All right. So I thought that was pretty entertaining though, dude, right? I thought that was pretty entertaining. Watching AOC just blast her, dude. Oh my God. Dude, AOC is such a queen, bro. Right? Dude. Oh. Dude. Dude, look at Riley though, dude. She's just fucking on it all day, boss. Oh man, dude. Dude, look at Valentina Gomez. Oh my God, dude. Valentina Gomez is fucking triggered. Look at what Valentina Gomez said, right? Riley Gaines is an NCAA All-American and a mother. You're an expired, mediocre bartender with 0 children and likes to murder babies. Dude, silence, woman. Dude, I would love to reply, but I can't because Valentina Gomez blocked me because she's such a fucking idiot. Okay? Dude, oh my God, look at this. Dude, Graham Linehan said AOC is just a mean girl. Dude, oh shit, that's so funny. Dude, isn't that funny? The people that are nasty all day, that say the nastiest shit all day, and then they say mean girl. But can I show you guys? Can I show you something? Dude, yeah, they are fucking triggered. Okay, but look at this. Look at this shit, guys. This is crazy. Okay, because I want to show you something. Because look at this reply. This person, okay, this Cynthia Holt person, like, replied to AOC, and look what she said. She said, you stupid DEI bitch. Riley Gaines is a fucking NCAA All-American who got screwed by your woke agenda, letting mediocre F-slur men invade women's sports, not some 5th place loser you're smugly shaming. Your hypocritical, scummy ass doubling down on silencing women like Riley while pretending to champion them. Crawl back to your bartending days, you fucking fraud. Look at how nasty that is. But look, guys, at Cynthia Holt. Look at her profile. Mother of two, Christian, constitutionalist. God bless Donald J. Trump. MAGA, no DMs, dude. Isn't that funny? Like, what would Jesus do, boss? Right? Mother of two. Like, it kind of makes you hope, like, holy shit. Can we call CPS or what, bro? Like, man, dude, isn't that wild? Like, there's no fucking way, dude, that person is a Christian and just venomous, like venomous slurs and belittling and you know, fucking aggression. And the irony of calling AOC, who's won an election, she calls AOC the DEI person, right? Riley Gaines, who never worked a job, never won anything. She didn't even win a goddamn swim race. She was 5th place, man. Even if Leah Thomas didn't exist, Riley is still 5th place. She tried out for the Olympics and she finished in 85th place. She's like a nobody in the top level of her sport, right? And she's become, you know, she goes on Fox News every night. She's never even had a job. She literally became transphobic and automatically got right-wing billionaire money. If anyone is DEI, it is not the woman who fucking the bartender who ran against a longtime incumbent fucking representative and has won multiple elections, right? Like, come on, bro. Dude. Yeah, it is gnarly. Dude, 85th, guys. What would Jesus do? Not that. But yeah, dude, let me just show you. She in the Olympic trials, right? Dude, remember when she went after fucking Simone Biles about that? Right? Where yeah, right there. There she is, dude. Right? Riley was not the 5th fastest woman in the nation. Her greatest accomplishment was being the 5th fastest woman in college in one event, one time. She was 85th in the Olympic trials, dude. 85th. Dude. Like barrel scraper, dude. Barrel scraper. That race against Leah Thomas was like the greatest Riley ever performed. You know what I'm saying? That was her peak. Yeah, dude, Riley is she's gnarly, dude. Right? Oh, man. Dude, oh, shit. So funny. Christian, boss. Christian. All right. Thank you, Riley. Thank you, AOC. Dude, I'm trying to get a debate, though. I am, guys. I'm trying to debate Riley Gaines, okay? I am. I fucking responded to her earlier today. Let me find it. Because I would love to debate Riley. All right. But I was like, yeah, I'm like, I will debate you. You keep dodging me. Let's make this happen. Dude, I would love to debate Riley. I would love to talk to her about, you know, trans issues. I would love to talk to her about her faith. I would love to talk to her about how she genders God and whether God has a penis or not. And right, her relationship with gendering, you know what I'm saying? I would love to talk to her about, you know, how she squares her religion and her judgment, you know what I'm saying? And her fucking judgment of her fellow human beings. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really it, dude. When you look at these American Christians, is that judgment, bro. It's just out of control, guys. It is. It is just so out of control. Fucking unreal, boss. All right. All right. No, it's a slow news or guests failed to show up when they pull out Riley. Yeah, so Brody, they've actually they've been sort of using Riley as she's like a mouthpiece, right? Anytime they have transgender issues, right? They like Fox News now has like a stable of guests, right? For transgender issues, they bring out Riley Gaines, right? If they're doing Zionism, they bring out that 𝗙𝗎𝗓𝗪, whatever her fucking name is, right? Dude, oh shit. They have their people, boss. Dude, and dude, you see the person they brought out the other day that said she was had infiltrated Antifa? All right, 26 minutes. Dance party. Dude, the Antifa person, crazy. Riley got more time testifying to the legislature than 500 transgender people. Yeah. No, see, that's really heartbreaking. And Sky, that really sucks too. Like I've noticed that too. Whenever there's like a transgender legislation or something, you know what they do, guys? Is they have a tendency of, they'll have like one detransitioner and they'll let the one person who detransitioned talk, but not like the 100 trans people that have absolutely had a better life because of what happened, right? And we repeatedly run into that where if there's one detransition person or one person who was like, oh, I wasn't really trans, they only want to listen to that. But if there's one gun death, they're like, oh, 100,000 gun deaths. Well, we're not going to fucking, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to talk about anything about that. But, oh, shit. One trans person, like, skinned their knee and was unhappy about being trans. So now they get to talk every time. Dude, yeah, it's some horse shit. All right. I'm done on the Riley. But now we got to move on. Dude, so Mamdani, though, dude, homie is surging. Should we watch his speech? I still haven't watched his speech. Okay, let's see. I kind of want to see what his speech was. All right, here we go.
He created a...
Oh, dude, the audio on that is brutal, bro. Dude, I love 𝗙𝗎𝗪𝗪𝗀. Dude, I'm really starting to like 𝗙𝗎𝗪𝗪𝗀. Dude, yeah, no, they're trying, right? They're trying to denaturalize Zoran. They are, dude. Dude, why don't they have... All they have for Zoran is these fucking shitty ass sites. Why do... Dude, this is so crazy, dude. Look at this. So Forbes has AOC's full remarks, and Forbes has Bernie's full remarks, but why aren't we seeing Zoran's full remarks? Fucking skeezers, bro. Dude, MAGA is fucking... Dude, they're such degenerates. Yeah. See, they don't have Zoran's full speech, dude. They have little bits and pieces of him. But look at that, right? That is a fucking crazy, right? They have AOC's speech. They have Bernie's full speech, but they don't have Zoran's full speech. They just show a couple of minutes. Like, they won't show his full thing and allow him to have fucking... Right?
Miles Connor was an up-and-coming...
Isn't that wild? All right, hold on. We're going to go to... Dude, of course they do that. All right, so we're going to just go find it. We'll be able to find Zoran. All right, here we go. Let's go. All right, here we go. Dude, Marisol, let's go.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, New York City!
Now, one of the first things I saw is because there are guys with their fucking headdresses on, there were so, like, I saw the right wingers just fuming, okay? They were just fuming because there's some guys with fucking beards and fucking headdresses on behind him. You know what I'm saying? It's like so weird to see how they freak out. Like the right wingers freak out on the tiniest bit of culture from anywhere in the world. Dude, Willem, let's go. All right, guys. So we need 13 in 19 minutes if we're going to get this dance party going. Let's see if we can fucking get the dance party going. All right, I'm going to invest myself for 10 minutes. We're going to get the dance party, and then we're going to fucking watch Zoran. Let's go. Let's see if we can make this happen, baby. Let's fucking get it. Dude, you're right. They do think they're Muslim supervillains. No, it's so true. It's like anybody who is not a like white Christian gets them absolutely freaked out, dude. That is like their whole, they are literally obsessed with like, oh, the tiniest bit of culture, you know, like, for example, here, while we try to get this dance party, I'm going to take you through something that this reminds me of. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Is let me go back to this. Okay. You ready? Hold on. We're going to go to this thing. I posted about this like a week ago, maybe more. Okay. But it's their cultural freak out. Okay. All right, guys, 18 minutes, 13 away, 18 minutes. We can do this, but let me find it. It is right here. Okay? So look at this, guys, because this is the shit I'm talking about. So this guy here said, my kids are watching a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film on Netflix. I used to watch the original series when I was younger. April O'Neil, a Celtic origin surname, has been race swapped from a redheaded white woman to an African, utterly sick of it. So this guy was freaking out because his white ginger, his white ginger, April O'Neil is portrayed by a black person. And this is their big, we've seen them do this like a million times, right? How they have their constant, like, oh my God, you made the Little Mermaid black. You made this person black. Dude, Sam, let's go. Let's go, dude. 12 more, baby. We got this. Okay? But now, guys, here's what's funny. You ready for this? Do you know what April O'Neil looked like in the original comic? You ready for this? Look at April O'Neil in the original comic. Look at her, guys. This is the original April O'Neil. She was ethnic. She was maybe half black, Puerto Rican, right? She was definitely ethnic, okay? And she was very much portrayed ethnic in the original series. So what happened was, guys, they whitewashed her when they made the comic. They whitewashed her, okay? I mean, she's either half black, Puerto Rican, right? Maybe Colombian, maybe, Italian, but like she was ethnic looking. Dude, Willem, let's go, dude. 11 more, baby. We got this. Oh, let's go, guys. 11 more for dance party, 16 minutes. We can do this. But so what happened was they turned her into a pale-skinned ginger when they made the cartoon. So this guy who is sitting here saying, oh my God, they've like miscolored my April O'Neil. She was Celtic. This guy didn't even know, bro. Like the original April O'Neil was ethnic and they made her this Irish white girl ginger when they made the cartoon. So you were watching a whitewashed version. And in fact, this April O'Neil is closer to the original April O'Neil as she was intended, right? And see, guys, that is what is so funny about their freakouts, because their freakouts are consistently about having to, you're remaking it. Oh, the mermaid is the wrong color. It's like, really? When they were freaking out about the mermaid, like, really, the mermaid? Tell me what color mermaids are. All right, fuck nuts. I defy you to prove to me that mermaids aren't black. All right, dude, 𝗙cie, let's go. Plus ninjas are Japanese. The entirety of the comic is ethnic. Yes, thank you. All right, guys, 10 more. Dude, we can do this, boss. 10 more, 14 minutes. We're gonna fucking make this shit happen. But yes, dude, what fact said right there? Just like they whitewashed Jesus. Yes, they did whitewash Jesus. Dude, Seattle Jen, let's go. Let's go, dude. Willem, this channel deserves it. Thank you, Willem. Appreciate you, boss. Oh, let's go, dude. Now we're cooking. 8 more, baby. We got this. We're getting it. But so, yeah, they did whitewash Jesus, right? They absolutely whitewashed Jesus, dude. And I mean, dude, if Jesus came back today, the MAGA would they would deport him. I swear to you, they would fucking deport him. They would accuse him of being a Muslim. They would, right? There is no way if an Arab man showed up saying he was Jesus, there is no fucking way they would fucking bow down and kiss his feet. Not a chance, bro. Dude, he would be so alligator Alcatraz, like crazy. Now, dude, is it just me, or doesn't this April O'Neil look way better than this one? Dude, This person looks so New York, dude. This woman looks so like, I mean, it was supposed to be based in Brooklyn, and this woman looks so Brooklyn, man. You know, like what did they do, boss? Dude, do Sean, let's go, baby. Let's dance. We're dancing, baby. All right. Oh, dude, 7 more, guys. 7 more, 6 more. Nurse Joy, dance, dance. Let's go. Oh. Let's go. Dude, we're getting it. How much time we got? We got 12 minutes. But yeah, this is the stuff though, guys, that gets me about the you know, the Republican freak out. The MAGA right-wing freak out where they're like insisting that, oh. And what's more though, guys, is what I remember as a kid, when I was a kid, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Dude, Golding, let's go, dude. Willem, let's go. Dude, Willem says, I'm good for it. This dance will happen. Let's go, Willem. You're a fucking amazing boss. Dude, let's go. So what I was going to say is when I was a kid on television, representation, there was like very limited representation of people of color and very limited representation of women. You know what I'm saying? Like most everybody in all positions of power, or everybody that was like really jamming on TV, they were all white men. Okay? Like almost exclusively. And the women were usually the pretty secretary, the trophy, right? It was the hot trophy, or the smart but not good looking secretary who never had a chance with the guy because she wasn't a trophy, or right? You know what I'm saying? Or she was some pretty girl that was like eye candy. Dude, whitewash the pine box so MAGA can rest in piss. All right, dude, I like it, right? And then the black people, you had like a show like Good Times or a show like What's Happening. And that was where the black people were living in the poor part of the city or in public housing, but they didn't have any money, but man, they were just good family people, right? Or you had the black people that were living in the white man's world, like the Jeffersons, the black man who escaped, right? Or the black kids in Different Strokes, or the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it was always this like white saviorism going on, you know? And there was very little representation outside of that. There were some exceptions, right? There were some exceptions, but it's not like now. Like now there's so much representation. I think it's great. You go on TV now and there's just like everybody in the mix, which I think is it's so much healthier, right? Dude, Pika, let's go. Right? Like, for example, you know what I'm saying? Like, can I just tell you what I went through with my son went to a grade school that was kind of like in an upper white middle class neighborhood. Dude, how many minutes left? Let's go, Willem. We are 2 away, 9 minutes. We got this. And then we're going to watch Mamdani, and then we're going to dance. But, so what I was going to say is I went through this with my son's grade school, okay? So my son had a grade school that was like white upper middle class neighborhood, okay? It was a very wealthy school. They had a ton of money. What are these idiots forgot in surnames were being appropriated at left and right? Yeah, no, absolutely, Roberto. Let's go. Dude. Yes, surnames, you're right. They do get appropriated. Right? Everybody O'Neill is not necessarily Irish anymore. B. Sneed, let's go. There we go. We got it. All right. Now we can relax. Thank you, guys. All right. So anyway, so check this out. Check out the battle I had with my kid's school. So my kid was from, it was a good school. The education there was great. They had a garden where the kids grew their own food. The food they ate in the cafeteria came from the garden. So it was like healthy. There was a lot of money. They had a lot of fundraisers. But so there was no representation there. There was like one kid of color, okay? And the only representation they had was a book drive where they raised money for like poor kids of color and raised money to help some people in Africa. And so I went in and met with the vice principal and said, this is fucked up. Like, you guys need to, these kids are like lily white upper middle class. We're in liberal Portland, but like the only time they see black people in this school is when the white people are saving them. Some poor kids that you're saving with your book fair, or some poor African village that you're helping out. Like, you need to bring some black people into this environment that are like top of the game. You should have some black teachers. You should have a black like representative come in and talk. You should have some celebration of like black succeeding people, right? You should be introducing these kids to black people. That's not just like, hey, we're rich white people helping these poor black people. And they don't even think about that stuff. And then ultimately they hired a black guy for the school, but you know what he was? Guess what the black guy was? All right, when they hired him, they finally hired one black guy, but guess what he did? Take a wild guess. All right, you put your thinking caps on and try to think of what this like lily white school, what they made the black guy. Okay, it's pretty easy to deduce, right? But yes, absolutely, he was a fucking PE, right? He was a PE teacher that then monitored the athletic fields. Absolutely. That's what they fucking did. They had one black guy who was on the teaching staff, but he was the PE coach and he walked around with a whistle and monitored the athletic fields during lunch. And it was like, dude, you just can't not be a fucking stereotype. Like, what is wrong with you people? Dude, I used to go at it with that school. It was a good school, but it was also in ways it wasn't a good school because the rich kids, the more money the parents donated, the more the kids got fucking, right? The more the kids got fucking, you know what I'm saying? The more the kids got sort of like crazy fucking, what do you call it? Right? It's like the more the parents donated, the more the kids got away with shit was ultimately like what happened. Like if your kid got into an altercation with another kid and the kid he got in an altercation with was really, really rich, your kid would get a punishment. Like I actually went in once where my son got into it with the rich kid and the teacher, the fucking teacher, the teacher, right, came out and fucking like, so my son got into it with the kid. Let me just tell you this story before we go to Zoran, and then we'll get to it. So my son got into it with the kid, and I had my kid talk to the teacher, and then I talked to the teacher, and I had text messages with the teacher, and then shit just went down where nobody did anything. So then what I did, dude, Roberto, let's go. Meant to say slave owners would appropriate the surname of the people they imported. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely, Roberto. Let's go, baby. Thank you, boss. They would appropriate the surname of people they imported. Yeah, that's brutal. Well, and I mean, they used to do a lot of shit, too, with, like, breeding them, which was really fucking, man, so toxic. But anyway, so what happened is finally nothing went on, and so I instructed my son to, like, okay, I've talked to the school, I've talked to the teacher. If this continues with the kid, you have my permission to hit him, okay? Right? Don't hit him in the face, but you do have my permission to defend yourself because we have exhausted all avenues here. And then what happened is eventually something went on with this kid and Bryce hit him. And so then they called me in, okay? They called me in and were like, oh my God, your child hit somebody. And it turned out that one of the kids he hit was this kid was from a super wealthy family, okay? A very wealthy family. And so I went in there, and then I set up a meeting with the principal, and they offloaded me to the assistant principal. But I went in there, and I was like, I have an issue with this, because here's my text messages. I had talked to the teacher about this. I had reached out to the school. You guys insisted this situation wasn't happening. Eventually, my kid, he's allowed to defend himself if you won't protect him. And what's more, I feel like the fact that this kid donates a lot of money means he's getting a different type of treatment. You know what I'm saying? She showed me a rule thing about not hitting, and I said, well, right above hitting, there's a rule here about not fucking verbally harassing. And then ultimately, we were at sort of a stalemate, and I said, here's the deal. And I told her, I said, here's the deal right now, is like, you are going to talk to this kid and keep him away from my kid. And you are not going to punish my kid for defending himself because of the failures of the teacher here to take what was going on seriously. And if you don't, the minute we are done with this little meeting, this charade of a meeting here, I'm going to go down to KGW, and I'm going to go talk to a fucking reporter about this meeting and what's going on for the last 2 months of this school. And I'm going to make sure the fucking local press camps out in front of this fucking school about the way you treat people based on their income level and what they donate to this school. And like, you think I'm joking? Just fucking try me, right? Like, dude, the like tone of this woman like instantly changed, because I was like, you know, the thing is I am tired of watching rich kids get like some benefit here, because all you're doing is focusing on money when this school has plenty of fucking money, and you're not gonna fucking like push my kid around when you play this game of like the rich kids get to do what they want. And if you think you can, just try me, okay? Because you have no idea what you're fucking messing with. And they like toned it back, and he didn't have any more problems with that shit. But like, dude, it's like, sometimes you gotta do that shit. You know, you have to like defend your fucking kids in an environment when they won't. But you know what's fucked up about it is like, if I was a black man and I did that same thing, they may have like called in security and said that I threatened them or what have you, right? I don't even know if I could have gotten away with that if I was a person of color. But like, dude, I just don't like that. I don't like that snooty, like fucking, I don't know. It felt very Republican, you know what I'm saying? You know? Yeah, good for you, Sean. I mean, it's hard. It's hard because sometimes kids are like brats, and you know, but dude, you just went through that today with your 7-year-old. Man, dude, I feel you. I mean, you know, you got to sort of keep your eye on stuff like that. One letter she wrote to the principal and sent copies to the press. Dude, that's funny. Let's go, Colo. I love it. Dude. Oh, man, dude. Dude, let's go. Dude, I mean, sometimes you have to stand up, man, because make no mistake, guys, this is why I think this type of like Bernie Sanders and Zoran Mamdani and AOC, when they talk about oligarchy, guys, it's not just the rich people like Bill Ackman and their $22 million fighting Zoran. It's not just the rich people, you know, owning all the stock, having all the money, okay? I mean, that's bad, and that's problematic, and a financial system that is rigged to just give them more money and power while we barely stay above water. But guys, it's a system of justice. It is a different system of justice where when you are wealthy, you don't get punished the same. You don't suffer consequences the same. You often don't even get accused the same, right? It's like you have an entirely different experience of justice and punishment and you know, even the amount of like crossing the line you can do before it's considered a crime, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like there is a different rule book for the wealthy, right? And, you know, there's a different rule book for the wealthy, for sure, in every facet of our society. And despite that, it's like still not enough for them, right? You know what I mean? It's not enough that they have a different rule book, that the stock system and the financial system, the property system is all rigged in their favor. But they want more, right? They want, in addition to the whole thing being rigged, the NFL owner wants a free stadium. And then he wants tax breaks every year. And then he wants to start up a fucking retail center that like gets tax credits. And then everybody's power bills go up so their data center can go in. And they get more and more tax breaks for doing nothing. And we just keep picking up the tab, man. And then they still want more. They're like, oh, you want to tax us at all? Like, fuck you. Now we're going to throw all our money and power at you and just put in all the representatives. Like, fuck you. You want us to pay anything? You want me to pay property taxes? Fuck you. Right? It's just like, wow, dude. They are never, like, it is like they're never satisfied. Like, oh my God, dude, you have $400 billion. No, I need more tax credits. Right? Right? Oh, fuck, bro. All right, let's see Zoran. Let's see what he's got.
How we all doing? Habibi, how are you?
Dude, he says Habibi. Dude, Republicans hate that.
It is so good to see you all here tonight. Now, as you know, a politician is only as good as the team around them. So I have to ask that team to start up this teleprompter. Because right now, it's off the top of the dome.
Dude!
And while we wait, why don't we actually begin? Can we first hear a round of applause for our incredible MC, Sarah Sherman? Can we hear it for the elected officials, the labor leaders, and the New Yorkers who have joined us this evening?
He is pretty charismatic. He is.
And can we hear it for Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez?
Dude, I love her. I do. I love AOC so much.
Yeah, very good. You know, there are many things one can say about our Congresswoman, but I want to tell you a story about 2021. When we went on a 15-day hunger strike and won $450 million in debt relief for working-class taxi drivers, the Congresswoman was there with us on that picket line. She was there with us on the phone after everyone else had gone home. And she was there with us again in the primary of this election. And that's because she's there for working people. And now we are just getting started. And let's please make some noise for Senator Bernie Sanders.
Let's go, dude. Bernie, dude. And yes, it is really cool that my son is in New York to experience this. I think it's great. I mean, he and his girlfriend love Zoran, And dude, they particularly, like my son's generation, you know, just graduated a couple of years ago, and growing up here, they particularly like don't like Islamophobia. Okay, they really don't. They've grown up in a post 9/11 world and seeing the nastiness of like, right? Like, it's weird because we didn't grow up directly Islamophobic because we didn't have, in my generation, because we didn't have the direct impact. I mean, we did. We were programmed a lot of propaganda about Iran, right? And the Ayatollah and all that shit. So we definitely had it, but not the way it was post 9/11 with just outright, you know, where it's so open. It's like Islamophobia is like, it's like a tenet of American Christianity. And in particular, Bryce and his girlfriend and their generation it's a huge fucking no-no for that shit. You know what I'm saying? They have zero tolerance for that shit where, you know, every Muslim person is considered a terrorist. That is just a fucking brick wall to these guys. And so they love him and they love what he stands for. They love that he's like breaking through that shit and not being held down because of it. You know what I'm saying? And so dude, it's going to be a big win, I think.
I stand before you tonight only because the senator dared to stand alone for so long. I speak the language of democratic socialism only because he spoke it first. And when I ran for state assembly almost 6 years ago to the day, it was at Bernie's rally in Queensbridge Park where I led our first canvass. Signing people up for our email list, asking them for $5 or $10 and encouraging them to believe that the politics of not me, us applied to our state government just as much as our national one. When we win on November 4th, and then govern from City Hall with dignity as the foundation of our politics, it will be because of the movement that Bernie built.
It's true. I mean, Bernie was the catalyst. AOC is pretty high up in there too.
Tonight as the nominee of a Democratic Party reinvigorated in its pursuit of making government work for everyone, not just the wealthy and the well-connected.
See, one thing I'm going to say is there's a lot of fuckery happening right now. There's a lot of polls that are showing, oh, Cuomo with a big jump. And you're seeing everybody all over Twitter saying like, oh, the voting turnout, the huge turnout is going to favor Cuomo, right? He only won because of low turnout and all this. But here's the deal, is Mamdani's going to win. And he's going to win big. He is not going to, like, he's not slowing down, guys. He is campaigning hard, full force, still building the army. They are going to run it straight through the finish line. And like, you know, there's no way, the more people that turn out, the more people that are going to turn out for Mamdani. I don't believe that, you know, if you've been to New York, right? New York is so cultural, guys. Like, New York is so cultural. Like, there is no way that, like, New York is showing up en masse because they're afraid of him, like, being a socialist who's going to fly a plane into a building. Nobody in New York thinks that about Zoran. That is a, like, DC Midwest lens on New York City. New York City is diversity. That city is fucking the most diverse place. You're on the subway with fucking 20 different colors, 20 different religions, you know, every gender you can imagine. You are elbow to elbow. Everybody in that city They live in it. That's what makes the city so goddamn beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And like the idea that all those diverse people are going to rear up and like fight against diversity and get behind like some white rapey guy who killed all the old people. I mean, literally, the only shit that Cuomo has is he has the Zionists. Like even most of the Jews in New York like Zoran. And you know why? You know why the Jews in New York like Zoran? Because they know he's put up with so much Islamophobia that he understands what they go through. Okay? That's why Jews in New York City love fucking Mamdani. They know he's not a fucking terrorist. They know he's not bringing Sharia law. They know that he has suffered the same type of bitter bigotry that they suffer every day. He gets it. And they know he gets it. I mean, dude, there's a huge Muslim and Jewish population in New York, and they are not having turf wars, guys. They fucking know. They know what each other are going through. Okay? It's two different sides of the same coin, right? And you know, Cuomo only activates the like Zionist Barry Weiss types, okay? And then and the bigots. Dude, and then you have Michael Rappaport. Like, dude, what the fuck is that guy? That guy used to be like a liberal. The next thing you know, he was like polishing Trump's knob. Those types of people that will sell their political beliefs over for a little bit of power or, you know, whatever, some weird imaginary line. Melon types, yes. Dude, melon types. Dude, what happened to him? Yeah, Karen, you know, I think Rappaport kind of, I feel like Rappaport's like sister from another mother is Brianna Wu. I feel like the same thing happened to Rappaport that happened to Brianna Wu, which is like something went on where there's some deep like Zionist inside of them that like flipped out. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like really weird. Like Brianna Wu and Michael Rappaport, I feel like they followed the same curve where some type of Zionism flipped a switch and them seeing like people defending the Palestinians set them off into some thing where like all of everything else in their politics just disappeared. It's like really fucking weird, man. You know, it's very strange. It was very strange. I used to like Michael Rappaport, but now I'm like, dude, this guy's a phony, right? This guy's just a phony, dude. I know he hated Trump so much, dude, so much. And then next thing you know, he's like, oh, it's on the table. Trump ain't off the table. It's like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Like so phony. Dude, I get into his shit, actually. I do. I get into his replies sometimes and I'm like, dude, you are such a fraud, bro. No one's listening to you anymore, dude. Dude, he's like the Lindy Lee, dude. He's like Michael Lindy Lee Rappaport, bro. Oh shit, dude.
Looking out at more than 13,000 of you here in Forest Hill Stadium, it is tempting to believe that this moment was always destined. Yet when we launched this campaign on October 23rd, 1 year and 3 days ago, there was not a single television camera there to cover it.
Dude, that's
crazy. When we launched this campaign 1 year and 3 days ago, my name was a statistical anomaly in every poll. 4 months later, as recently as this February, our support had reached the eye-watering heights of 1%.
Dude, that's insane. That's insane. No press, 1%, bro.
We were tied with noted candidate, someone else. I always knew we could beat him. When we launched this campaign 1 year and 3 days ago, the political world did not pay it much attention. because we were looking to build a movement that reflected the city as it actually is, not just the one that political consultants think exists on a spreadsheet. And when we launched this campaign 1 year and 3 days ago, we were dismissed as a punchline in the halls of power. The idea of fundamentally changing who government serves in this city was unimaginable. Even if we gained momentum, they asked, how would we ever overcome the tens of millions of dollars in attacks that would follow?
It's crazy.
Yet we knew then.
But they did.
What we know now. New York is not for sale.
Dude, I love New York City. I do. It's like, it's just such a special place, man.
As young people showed up in record numbers, as immigrants saw themselves in the politics of their city, as seniors, once skeptical, dared to dream again, we spoke with one voice. New York is not for sale. And now, as we stand on the precipice of taking this city back from corrupt politicians and the billionaires that fund them, let our words ring out so loud tonight that Andrew Cuomo can hear them in his $8,000 a month apartment.
Oh, shit! Oh, my God!
Let them ring so loud so that he can hear us even if he's in Westchester this evening.
Westchester!
Let them ring so loud that his puppet master in the White House hears us.
See, that's another brutal thing, guys, is watching Cuomo, like, partner with Trumpism in order to try and win. Like, that's when you really know how fucking toxic. I mean, you know, Cuomo is a sex pred, right? So of course it makes sense, but like, you just know, dude, like, wow, bro, this guy is the dirtiest of the dirt, dude. You know what I'm saying? He is so dirty, dude. Such a scuzzy motherfucker.
New York is not for sale.
Hold on.
New York is not for sale.
All right.
13 days after we announced our candidacy, Donald Trump won the presidency once again. The Bronx and Queens saw some of the largest shifts to the right of any counties in our country. No matter what article you read or channel you turned to, the stories seemed to be the same. Our city was headed to the right. Obituaries were written about Democrats' abilities to reach Asian voters, young voters, male voters. Again and again, we were told that if we had any hope of beating the Republican Party, it would only be by becoming the Republican Party.
Dude, yeah. See, I don't buy that, dude. This idea that we got to keep moving to the right to fucking win. Like, oh, you go. Oh. Dude, such bullshit, bro.
Andrew Cuomo himself said that we had lost not because we had failed to speak to the needs of working class Americans, but because we had spent too much time talking about bathrooms and sports teams. This was a moment where it seemed our political horizon was narrowing. And in this moment, New York, you had a choice to retreat or to fight. And the choice that we made was to stop listening to those experts and to start listening to you.
See, it's interesting because I have a thought about this, guys, because my thing is looking back on the last 25 years, I don't know that the Dems like purposefully went to the right. Okay. You know what I mean? But I think it happened because of normalization. Okay. So what happened was the Democrats have always played the game of like, let's find a compromise. Let's include you in the process. And then the more obstructive the Republicans got, the more the Democrats started to include the right wing. And they started making concessions that then made the right wing shit seem kind of normal. Okay. And that's really the problem. It's like that Jubilee shit where if you put a left wing speaker at the table with a far right lunatic and you give air to the far right lunatic's beliefs, you are now making it seem like that's not an insane belief. And we did that with some policing shit and with some military shit and with some immigration shit, where we met them in the middle that was like normalizing their bullshit fucking belief systems. And then next thing you know, they had enough like momentum to be able to then try to like flip the script on us and make it seem like we were so outrageous because they had moved that fucking, right? They had moved that shit. They had moved their stuff into the middle, and then all of a sudden anything that was left wing was like the furthest thing out there, right? When what we should have done is we should have been kicking their ass when they were being obstructionists, okay? Like the more they obstructed, the more we should have given them fucking nothing. Like, fuck you. And then the minute we got power back, we should have bulldozed them like a motherfucker and just detonated all their shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could have done it. We really could have. Like, we could have done it. You know, I mean, you know, the time would have done. I mean, the time to do it was, you know, the end of Obama's term, right? There was still fighting nuclear option shit to be done during the Obama term, where we should have, you know, fucking like detonated some of that shit before Trump, when we still had the cultural zeitgeist and shit. Before the pandemic isolated everybody, and they really got to work on young men, dude. Like the pandemic. Like, but man, we had the opportunity when they were like not fucking doing a Supreme Court justice. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like when they wouldn't fucking bring up the Supreme Court justice for Obama, that should have been fucking neutron bomb right there. You know what I'm saying? That should have been it.
We went to two of the places that saw the biggest swings to the right, Fordham Road and Hillside Avenue. These New Yorkers were far from the caricature of Trump voters. They told us they supported Donald Trump because they felt disconnected from a Democratic Party that had grown comfortable with mediocrity and gave its time only to those who gave millions. They told us that they felt abandoned by a party beholden to corporations, which asked them for their votes after telling them only what it was against, rather than presenting a vision of what it was for. They told us they didn't believe in a system anymore that did not even pretend to offer solutions to the defining challenge of their lives, the cost of living crisis. Rent was too expensive. So were groceries, so was childcare, so was taking the bus, and working 2 or 3 jobs still wasn't enough.
Dude, believe me, my kid's getting firsthand seeing what it's like, the expenses in New York. It's crazy, dude.
Trump, for all his many flaws, had promised them an agenda that would put more money in their pockets and lower the cost of living. Donald Trump lied. It was up to us to deliver for the working people he left behind. Over the 8 months of the primary, we told New Yorkers how we intended to address that very same affordability crisis. We did not do it alone. This was a movement powered by tens of thousands of everyday New Yorkers who knocked doors between 12-hour shifts at work and phone banked until their fingers were numb. People who had never voted before became die-hard canvassers. Community formed. Our city got to know each other and itself. This, my friends, was your movement. And it always will be.
See, here's what I think, guys. I think that, like, I saw somebody say in chat that Trump has woken us up. I think Trump has absolutely woken us up. I mean, his brutality and the religious fervor it has inspired, I think people are waking up more and more. Okay, for sure. But there's a couple other things going on, right? Like Hakeem, okay? Hakeem fucking Jeffries endorsing Zoran. I know he waited till the last minute. I know he fucking whatever. It's begrudging and all that. But he did it. And he realized he had to fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? He had to do it. Like Hakeem Jeffries had to endorse Zoran Mamdani to make sure he doesn't get removed. Bro, think about that. Think about what that says, okay? That he had to endorse fucking Zoran or his existence was going to be threatened. I mean, that, guys, no matter what happens with Hakeem, that's telling right there, okay? That is like super telling because here's what I predict is going to happen, okay? Is if Zoran is able to complete some of his platform, all right, we know he's probably not going to get everything. Nobody gets everything. But if some of his shit works, and I think some of it is going to work, what's going to happen, guys, is it's going to spread, okay? The only reason we haven't fucking gotten more of this shit across the U.S. is because we haven't seen it work, okay? They always threaten us with, you know, oh, look at what happened in Venezuela. Look at what happened in Cuba. Look at what happened in, you know, they always like pick out whatever, you know, weird fucking oligarchical socialist fucking bullshit. Anything that wasn't real socialism. They never look at the Scandinavian countries and shit. But the point being is when some of it works, it's going to spread. Okay, it's going to become a roadmap. All right, it's a roadmap. You know what I'm saying? It's going to become a roadmap, and I believe some of it's going to work. I think, I'll be honest, guys. I really think it's, you know, I mean, I don't want to take away credit from Zoran, but I think Kathy Hochul's backing of Zoran. I think Kathy Hochul and Zoran Mamdani are going to be two of the primary figures working together to instigate some national American change. And they're going to do it by battling side by side to fucking defeat Donald Trump's influence in trying to fuck up their state and their city. I really think, and I think that's why she fucking, I don't know. I think she like saw this as an opportunity for them to really, you know, like set off a national fucking time bomb because you just need to see this shit working, guys. You know what I'm saying? You just need to see this shit working. And you know, fundamentally flawed. Yeah, dude, the two-party system. I mean, dude, it's not even the fact that we're a two-party system. I mean, sure, but we're a two-party system because we're just a one-issue country. You know what I mean? I mean, our country was founded on like we want to own people, and no, owning people is bad. But God says it's not. No, owning people is bad. That's America right there. That conversation. Dude, we want to own people. It's our right. No, it's not. That's bad. God says it is our right. No, that's not really what God says. That is America right there. That's our entire fucking country. Dude, you know what I mean? It's fucked up. And because our country is that, we have those two fights still, right? That's still our fight, bro. But I'm excited about this. But anyway, guys, dude, I went extra long tonight because I started late, but I'm going to fucking go make some videos. All right? Dude, I'm going to go make some fucking videos, boss. A healthy country is secular. Yeah, now we're going to dance, baby. You guys, much like fucking New York ain't for sale, dude, fucking the dance party is for sale, and you guys bought it. So now you guys get a dance party. Oh, shit. Dude, let's go. Dude, yeah, no, the religion is getting out of control, guys. The religion is getting out of control. But you know, I've presented my theory about religion, guys. I'm telling you, it's the AI. It is the AI. It is like the religious people, their psyche has been shattered and rattled because artificial intelligence is going to change the human brain. After 150 years of us communicating more and more with artificial intelligence, religion is going to lose all of its power. And I think subconsciously, this age of Aquarius shift we're going through is like large groups of religious people realizing this on a subconscious level. And now they're trying to, like, you know, go for broke to exercise as much religious domination as they can, because they know that the countdown, the death rattle for religion is here. Oh, it's here, boss. It is like, yep, there it is. Oh, yeah, there it is. It's here, right? You know, it is, yeah. So what it is, Scorpion Kingdom, is this, here's how. So religion is because of it's a part of the brain is what attaches to religion. Okay. If you go back in time, you look at sociology, before the brain was developed, everything that wasn't understood by the brain was a deity. The harvest, the sun, the rain, the moon, right? The fucking, you know what I'm saying? Everything was a deity, because the deity is that which processes the things the brain cannot comprehend. Okay? And so the human brain, with its pattern seeking and with its need to have reason and explanation of, you know, it's part of our safety system. We process the world and we have to understand it and explain it all to be safe. And then as our brains have evolved, religion evolved to go away from that. Science started teaching us immutable laws of energy and shit. And slowly religion it evolved with the human brain. Now, AI can learn about religion and the existence of religion, but AI will never believe in a deity. It can't, because a deity is outside of logic. Okay, the deity is that part of the human brain that can't understand and needs to believe that there's a higher creationary purpose of this earth. This earth is so extraordinary, there has to be a creator, because we humans are like the highest force. We're like the gods of this planet. So if we can't create this planet, that unexplained thing has to be a deity. Now, an AI will never believe that, because the AI just looks at the data, and the AI understands that the giraffe has a long neck because the trees got taller over thousands of years, and those animals kept stretching to get their food, and eventually they were born with long necks. I mean, it's all fucking explainable. We evolve as technology evolves. We've seen it. I've seen evolution in my fucking lifetime, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing about this, though, guys, is now human beings are communicating with AI. We are interfacing with AI with, algorithms and with chatbots, and we're asking it questions, and we're having to learn how to talk to the AI to get responses. And so what happens now is our brains are evolving in that way of like using more of data and logic and not we're getting a different viewpoint on the unanswerable because we're communicating with a type of brain, this artificial intelligence brain, that doesn't need to create something to fill the unimaginable or the unexplainable. So our brains are becoming more like that higher intelligence. And so that's what's going to happen is our brains are going to evolve. Okay, they are. Our brains are going to evolve from that. And it's going to have an impact on that religion. I swear to you. It's like, it feels like it's already happening, It's already happening, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just totally fucking happening. I mean, the only thing that's slowing it, guys, the thing that's really slowing it is, I'm surprisingly tapped in on that. Yeah, I think part of the reason why I've been so obsessive about this is because for whatever reason, my brain always attached to computer thinking more than human thinking in a way. Like I have the emotionality of the human, but I have like the understanding of the computer, right? Like I communicate with algorithms really well. It's part of the reason why I've been good at like TikTok and YouTube and shit, because I communicate with algorithms well. I'm able to interact with them and absorb them and become them, and they become me. And like, I don't know, it's just like an education, USC. I went to UCLA, but like, so I feel like I've been on the forefront of some of that sort of algorithmic evolution, really, you know what I mean? And now though, people are being born with that shit. And I think it's, I've said this before about like Candace Owens. I don't think it's worse. I just think it's different. Okay. Like you could say we're getting dumber, and we are getting dumber compared to what was considered smart in 1980. But the reality is we're getting smart in ways that you couldn't get smart in 1980 that are now really important ways to be smart. And so like what's happening is what was considered smart in 1980 isn't really required anymore, And now though, our brains are operating on levels that, 1980 just couldn't even imagine because it just didn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, my God, if you take video games, right? If you took fucking, right? If you took, if you took, fucking, dude, what is this person doing? Right? I feel like we have a troll here. Right? We do. Dude, we have a troll. We have somebody with a weird username that's already got a held for review fucking message that's going bye-bye. Yeah, smell ya, buddy. All right? Yeah. But so even if you look at the video games, right? Parallel processing. Yes, well said. It's like if you take like a 12-year-old kid nowadays who is like playing a game like Fortnite or a game like Valorant, and the way their mind is, the amount of shit they're paying attention to. I mean, the dopamine, you could say there's some issues with the dopamine that may cause some problems, and we'll have to sort that out. But the pure brain processing that they're engaging with to be able to play that game while also watching YouTube and chatting with friends in a Discord call, their brains, if you tried to have a 12-year-old do that in 1980, the kid would have had a fucking seizure and would have passed out and probably pissed his fucking pants. Dude, you know what I mean? And now these kids are like 10 and their brains are already there. And I'm telling you guys, it's a form of higher intelligence that is going to keep developing. You know what I'm saying? It's going to keep developing. And I mean, we're going to see the next generation of human brains that, like, man, the multiplication tables don't even fucking matter. Dude, VIC-20 forever. Dude, I had a VIC-20, bro. Dude, E.T. on Atari. Oh my God, remember the Indiana Jones game on Atari, dude? It was so fucking stupid and lame, but like, dude, I had that game, dude. Oh shit, I had Atari, but in my Commodore VIC-20 had 3.5K of memory, not 3.5 megabytes, 3.5 kilobytes. And then I got a 16K RAM cartridge. I had 19.5K, dude, and I was like a rock star, bro. I was programming some shit, boss. Oh fuck, dude. Dude, let's go. Oh shit, dude. Dude, yeah, no, like the if you, that's what people don't realize. When you say, like, kids are dumber now, it's like they are compared to what used to be considered intelligent. But what's intelligent now is a very different fucking thing than what was intelligence in 1985, man. It's just a different world. And believe me, these kids' brains are like much more adept. They are much crazier. They are operating on levels that we couldn't have even comprehended back then, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it's crazy, dude. We are crackheads? Kind of. But dude, what did fucking, what's his name say? Dude, next time you call a cop, call a crackhead. Right? Remember him, dude? Dude, oh shit. All right. Dude, fucking from Louisiana, John Kennedy. Dude, you got to see that video, boss. Here, we're going to end on this, boss. All right, we're going to end on this and then we dance. All right, you ready? Watch this. All right, you've probably seen it, but if you haven't seen it, you got to see this video, dude. Yeah, right here. Let me find one that's not the fucking Daily Show, where it's just the video. All right.
Violent crime is surging in Louisiana. Woke leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police.
Dude!
Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy, and I approve this message.
Dude, I just can never get enough of that, dude. If you hate cops just because they're cops, next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. Dude, hey man, I'm down, dude. I'm serious. I have had so many issues with the cops that I feel like sometimes I will take my chances calling a crackhead, bro. I'm serious, dude. Dude, it was. You think that shit is like a Saturday Night Live skit, but like, dude, that is the Onion in real life, man. Oh my God. All right, dude, that's where I'm ending, boss. All right, we are going. It is time. It is dance party, baby. It is time for fucking edit mode and the dance party. All right, hold on. All right, you ready? Oh, here we go, baby. Here we go. All right, everybody stretch. Let's get some fucking dance going, baby. Oh. Dude, let's go, baby. You don't dance. All right, Sam, thank you. Thank you for all the snow puppies. We appreciate you. All right, guys. Let's go, dude. It's time for a little deja vu. Let's go. Oh, dude, get hype, baby. You're from Jamaica. Let's go. Dude, I love Jamaica, dude. Although they're fucking, are they getting crashed by that hurricane or what, man? I hope they're okay. Let's get it. Oh! Dude, what a great song, boss.
When you're on blue, you keep everything inside of you. You try to play it cool. Sometimes you gotta break the rules.
I don't know
why you're confused.
All you need is a little bit of attitude.
Yeah.
This is it, I'm tired of explaining. Too late because everyone is waiting. That's great, so you're complaining. You're on blue. Will anybody notice? It's my fault because I love you on purpose.
I'm insecure,
or just a little nervous. You're on blue. Let's go, baby! Remember at a 3 a.m. dance before? Yeah, let's go, Jeff!
you knows you're on blue when every bruise looks good on you. Tell me who knows you're on blue when every bruise looks good on you.
Let's go! Thank you, guys! Time to get radiant. See you tomorrow. Love ya.
Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. It's about you. I would never be alone.